Welcome everyone. I am Bonita from Pennies to Dollars and welcome back to my channel where we talk about frugal living, cutting expenses, saving money, and a little bit of Depression era tips thrown in there because I'm the daughter of Depression era parents. We also talk about decluttering from time to time because that is something that I am dealing with now that I'm an empty nester. So as we go through this video today, I am excited because we are going to talk about tightening our belt for the new year. Yeah, that doesn't sound exciting, does it? But I think it's going to be exciting for us because we are going to look at some budgeting items. We are going to reflect on last year, and we're going to make a solid plan going forward. So as we move into this next year and we're reviewing things from last year, that can be so helpful. It may sound a little dull and drab, but sometimes you can find extra cash by doing that. And that's why I find it exciting. We all change throughout the year. We all learn new things, try new things, learn from each other. And that's what I love about this channel is we can share ideas to learn from each other that help both of us. One of our viewers suggested that I tried this great value brand caramel syrup from Walmart. It's $2.18. I had tried the Dollar Tree brand and it was not good. It just didn't have hardly any flavor. This is over twice the ounces and not over twice the price. So I'm going to save money moving forward when I buy caramel syrup because some days I just need a little bit more pick-me-up and I put some in my coffee. So I always like to have some available. So see, we're learning from each other. I learn things from you all the time, and all the comments are so helpful because there's so many people that even converse amongst each other to give each other ideas. So we are going to reflect a little bit on last year. Last year, I want you to really think and stop and think, what did I do last year that moved me in the direction that I wanted? Did I start weighing my fruit? Did I start counting the fruit in the bags? Just little tiny things like that all add up. And as we've gone through this process year to year, we've all added things to our bag of tricks to help us cut our expenses. And when we cut our expenses, we actually save money. We talk about saving money, but when we're cutting in those little areas, it gives us extra wiggle room to have money for other things. Sometimes maybe our electric has gone up, but if we cut in other areas, then we have the money for the electric, so things aren't such a struggle. Little things like that, as we add them in, make a huge difference. One of the viewers was watching one of my older videos and made a comment yesterday, and it made me think and reflect on this last year. Last year, when I was cold, we turned up the heat because I get cold faster than my husband. Well, now that I have that heated throw that my son got me last year for Christmas, I plug that in first and I use it first, and we don't turn the heat on until he gets cold. And he doesn't get cold nearly as fast as I do. So we're using much less propane by doing that. And that was just a natural progression of things that happened last year to help us save money. It costs us several $100s to put propane in the tank. And we put in about $250 or $295 here in October. And I thought, oh man, I'm going to probably need it again. And I went and checked and we still had 45%. I was really excited about that. I was like, wow, we're hardly going through the propane like we used to. And then I thought about that natural progression of now we don't turn that heat on unless he gets cold. Even during the day when he's not here, I don't turn on the heat. If I get really cold, I grab that throw. If I get really cold, I plug it in and turn it on. Sometimes just putting it over me makes the difference, and I don't even have to plug it in. So look at those little changes and give yourself a pat on the back for those, because they have added up this last year. So I'm reviewing my expenses from last year. And yes, I have a whole different plan going forward because, as you know, I just recently retired. So what little income I have has changed. My expenses have also changed. So I need to tweak that budget. And places where things have gone up, like my property taxes, are going to be offset where things have gone down, like my car gas. So I'm going to go through the things that are on my budget just to give you an idea of maybe things that you might have on your budget this year. I have my car tags. Now they went up just a tiny bit, and I have that budgeted each month, $7.08. That's all it costs for me to have my car in the state of Kansas. I know many places are more than that, but I also know there are some states like Oregon that don't even charge like property tax on your car. Taking a look at your expenses will help you know where you're at and where you can find money for that wiggle room for next year. My Christmas budget, I reflected on that, and I did need to raise it a tiny bit. For 2024, I raised it to $277.43 a month. And because my Christmas budget needs to go up just a little bit, I have already started my goal this year to start saving for Christmas next year. And how am I going to do that? Through those apps that I share in my description box. I have already made $10 on Swag Bucks in December, $15 on Inbox Dollars, and $20.80 on Ibotta. And that was in December at the filming of this video. So I mean, that adds up to $50. So $50 is $50, especially if I'm not working. I mean, that is a really nice gift, $50. So I'm starting early. I'm going to try to build those accounts all year long and then cash them out so that I have money that's extra to help my budget. My vacation, I've left it at $300 a month as a projected amount, but I don't think we are going to need that much with the plan that we have in place to be doing the snowbird thing. It's a lot cheaper than what we had projected. I also have no car payment, no house payment. The only car expenses I have are upkeep, like tires and oil changes, and I have that budgeted for $55 a month for an average. I have clothes budgeted at $11, but I don't see that I'm going to need anything this next year. I'm still losing weight, and I have a lot of clothes in the old sizes that I've separated out and marked, and I just plan on to moving into that next size of clothes when I drop a little bit more. I just have a couple more inches to go. I do have snacks down just in case. I have them at $50 a month, but I have not been spending that much and don't intend to, so there'll be some wiggle room there. I do have some turnpike costs averaged in at $22 a month, but I don't ever spend that much on the turnpike. It does take a little bit to visit my husband's parents, and it does take a little bit whenever we go south, but I do have that averaged in, and it will probably have some wiggle room there as well. That turnpike budget also includes a Hulu subscription that my son and I share, and I'm able to watch my General Hospital every single day using that subscription. When we cut the cable, I was watching it on YouTube, but I was having trouble getting a good YouTube channel that wouldn't cut part of it or miss part of it out, probably because of copyright rules. So we just did that, and I can watch it every single day. I have my phone budgeted in and my internet budgeted in. We do have both those costs at home and in the South. And then I have our electric and propane together at $170 a month. Right now, we've been spending about $65 a month on electricity. but the rest of it is in case I need propane. It just kind of builds on itself for when I need to get it filled. I have my car gas set at $50 a month. I have Amazon Prime at $12 a month. I have our groceries still at $245. I'm not changing that. And I have our cat food at $50, and I'm not changing that. I still have us budgeted for $50 a month to eat out. We don't always use that money, so there is some more wiggle room. I also have my haircuts budgeted at $3 a month in case I decide to get my haircut a couple of times a year, but I don't always do that. I have my medicine budgeted at $44 a month. That covers any refills. That also covers any vitamins, anything over the counter like Tylenol. And I'm hoping that that is going to go down with some of the new discounts that I found for my medicine. And so all of that together still makes it where I can live on under $21,550 a year. So I think that is fabulous. That's way below the poverty level. And like I said, there's still wiggle room in there. Look at the things that you've changed this past year. It may be hard to put your finger on them, but I bet you have changed a lot of things that you haven't given yourself credit for that will give you more wiggle room. I know that people's rent is going up again in January. I know that people's property taxes have gone up. And I also know that there doesn't seem to be anything going down on food costs. But if we follow some of those tricks we've talked about here on this channel with food, I think the food is probably the most manageable. A lot of those other things are very set, so we have to meet those costs. But there's lots of wiggle room in our electricity, in our food costs, in our extra spending that we can find wiggle room. I do my homework before I go shopping, and I try to get some good deals on every single trip to make it worth my while. I do have these navel oranges that were a 4-pound bag. Dylan's had them for $1.99. Went over to Aldi, they were $3.99. Also on the Dylan's app, I was able to get a free bag of instant rice. They had several flavors you could choose from. I went to CVS. I had a $4 off coupon again this month. They give you one every month in your email. This was also on sale, and so I got it for $2. And then I knew cranberries should be going on sale here soon. They were $1 a package. I'm going to throw them in the freezer for next year and for cooking throughout the year. This is a great price to stock up. So take a second look at that budget. If you haven't done that already for this next year, mark the things that you think are going to be variable, things that you have more control over, things that will provide you some extra money if you decide to forego that expense for that month. And let's continue to learn from each other and share tips so that we can make 2024 the best year yet. Thanks for watching today, and I hope you have a great day.